Klay Thompson, one of my former teammates, part of the Splash Brother duo with Steph Curry, greatest shooting duo in the history of the game. Klay is, we played 4 years together. And during those 4 years, we got to be close. Matter of fact, one of the first teammates I ever hung out with was Klay. Like, I went to his house, he invited me over for dinner at the time, and, had someone cooking, and we got to spend some time. Klay also did not talk very much.
Yeah, he's quiet.
Yeah. So, after last summer was a big one because Klay decided to go sign with the Dallas Mavericks. And in the middle of this huge decision, he decides that he wanted to come to Africa. He had actually said it the year before that he wanted to come. He saw the work that we were doing with the kids in Africa. I do a life skills camp in Africa every year and work with kids ages 13 through 17. We put together this camp, 100 kids. We host them for a week. And we just have so much fun educating them on the game of basketball. I have friends from different walks of life, like, tech, healthcare. I have lawyers, doctors, they come and they introduce these kids. Because a lot of times, like, the dream gets bigger when you get to see it with your own eyes.
Yes.
So this is what we like to do. And this is what I like to do with my platform. I want to do more of this. Like, I want to make it bigger and bigger. And I share it on social media. And Klay saw it, that's my brother, and he's like, yo, I want to come. And usually people say I want to come, and he's like, okay, well, I want someday.
Yeah.
And Klay actually did come. He came to Cameroon. And he was there, he was, like, even we were trying to give him like a tutorial of like, oh, this is how this is what happens here. He's like, man, I don't want to hear none of that. Where's the gym? He goes to the gym, he's playing one-on-one with the kids, like he's like hanging, like really, really in the community. Yeah. Like Klay shows up solo, no security guards, no posse, he's just him, and he's there, and he's present. Yeah. Talking with the kids, he's like, yo, I'll take a picture with every one of y'all. And if y'all want to ask me any questions, I'm here for you. Two things. One of them is it's the trust that we built in that locker room, that he was able to come and trust us, to trust me to be able to come there, one. But I'm so proud of my teammates. I'm proud of the people that I've got to play with because it takes a special type of person to want to even be there. Because sometimes people show up to these things and like, oh, well, like I'm a superstar, so I'm going to do one appearance and I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, he was there.
Yeah.
So I'm really, that was a very special experience. I'm happy he got to be there in Africa. Yeah. I gave you the context of him leaving the Warriors because it was a really hard time emotionally for him. Yeah. And when he came, I think a lot of times people come to Africa hoping to do something for Africa. But what you misunderstand is when you come, Africa gives something to you.
Ooh.
And it was this feeling when he left, like I've never seen Klay Thompson dance in my whole life. Yeah. I had never seen him dance. But when he was dancing, that was in Cameroon, right? When he came over there, he was having such a good time that you just see it's freedom. You feel free.
He was jamming.
There's something beautiful about seeing people that look like you in different parts of the
I love that. It's what you go. Some people go there thinking, what can I give to whatever country you're going to in Africa?
Because in their heads they got that Africa needs
needs help. No, like you don't understand. People are.
Have you had other teammates? Have you had other teammates?
This year, Malcolm Brogdon came. He wasn't even my teammate. Yeah. He was teammates with my best friend who also does the camp with me. And Malcolm Brogdon, he was, he came to Africa, and it's been really incredible. Not just basketball players. I want to really make that clear.
Yeah.
Like, I have my friend Chloe Arnold, who's a huge choreographer, does all the stuff. She's done stuff with Beyonce and Mariah. Like, she's done a lot of big things.
Love Chloe.
And she decided to come. She came to work with the kids, work with dancers there.
Yeah. I'm amped.
No, but the point is, I want people in different industries to come to show the kids. Teach them a class. Like, we have a non-basketball day where the kids get to learn from different people. So
let me ask you, because this is interesting. And I never even had that. I'm just thinking about, just hearing your story, in the NBA, and I got a ton of questions in it, but this is just getting real to me because, and I felt this as a former NFL guy, do basketball players have some of the same transition issues like in the NBA, do basketball players in the NBA have some of the same transition issues that NFL guys, like transitioning into your new sport, or into your new life after the sport is over? Like, did you run into where you go through the depression and then the identity crisis, like, who am I? Everybody sees you, especially at 6'9", you probably can't go anywhere without somebody going, did you play basketball? And you go, wait, that's way past me now. because I've often wondered about the interest for NBA players, and as NFL guys, and we're talking about the common NFL guys, they go, well, basketball players make way more money. So, their transition, they may not have a hard time with transition. Does that happen in the NBA? Like, is it hard transitioning?
Yes, absolutely. It's hard to transition.
Yeah.
Think about this. You spend a lot of your life trying to be great at something.
Yeah.
And to be great at anything, you have to sacrifice other parts of your life.
Right.
You brought up Obama earlier. Obama said that too. Like, we always talk about balance, work-life, but there's gonna be parts of your life that suffer because you're trying to be great. Like, you have to sacrifice something. You sacrifice even relationships, and you sacrifice time with your family. You sacrifice, because even your body you have to sacrifice because you want to push beyond a certain limit to get to this point where you're one in millions and millions and millions. So when you describe it that way, you kind of understand that when that thing is gone, because you become a part, it becomes you at a certain point. It becomes
How was your
a part of-
transition?
Mine was difficult. Mine was not by my choice. I got injured. I was in the wheelchair for 6 months after my injury. I'm 6'11" when I walk around. I'm in the wheelchair, and I'm maybe 4 feet, 4 or 5 in a wheelchair. Like, my whole perspective on life changed during those 6 months.
Whoa,
I'm
that's
looking around like, man, what is going on? And I'm watching, you brought up KD. I'm watching the Warriors go on to win championships. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna be defensive player of the year. I wanted to be an all-star. I wanted to be all these things. And now I can't play no more?
Damn.
Wow.
I'm 26 years old at this point. I just signed a deal with Portland. I'm ready to go. Damn, I can't play? Man, that was one of the hardest periods of my life for a lot of reasons. I remember one day, this is one of the pivotal moments in my life where I had this big cast on. I had surgery on both knees. This big cast on my knee. I couldn't move. I was struggling. I had to sit in this machine for like 8 hours a day so it could move my knee for me to get some, circulation, all that. I had a blood clot. I almost died. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on. And one day I woke up, I just started crying. I was like, I was just in the NBA Finals, like not even a year ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, how does this even make sense?
Yeah.
And when I'm gonna be super honest with y'all right now. Like, I'm crying. My mom walks in, and she's an African parent, and African parents always speak in proverbs and parables, right?
Some of them don't make sense, but don't let a frog jump on your back.
There you go.
You'll be all right. What?
Nah, man, when you get to their age, then you understand.
I will. Yes.
That's
What they always say, what they see, what the elders see sitting down, the young people cannot see when they stand on top of the mountain. That was something I didn't understand at the time, but they see things way beyond what we see.
Yeah.
We respect our elders. So, all right, back to my mom. She walks in the room, she sees me crying. And she's looking at me and she's like, how do you know when a man is strong? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't actually really don't want to hear that right now. And she says, you know a man is strong because he can carry the weight when it's the heaviest. You are strong because you're my son. God gave you this mountain so you can show others it can be moved. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
God gave you this mountain so you can show others it can be moved. And when I heard that, everything in my spirit changed because I have a story, man. Like, God gave me this incredible story.
Yeah.
I moved to a different country at a young age. I tried to assimilate into this culture. I picked up a new sport. Wasn't an athlete. Was really bad. I scored in the wrong basket. I worked my ass off to get into college.
And just for perspective, 4 or 5 years later, you end up being, or 6, 7 years later, you end up being a first round
pick in the NBA.
That's insanity.
Right. Having
I won
never
the
played
first-
basketball before.
I won the first championship at Vanderbilt in 50 years. Got drafted to the worst team in the NBA. Warriors were the worst team in the NBA.
Sure were.
3 years later, we win the first championship in 40 years.
Crazy.
We broke the 73-9 record by Michael Jordan. Like, Who knows, right? Like,
Yeah.
you take me out of that equation. Who knows how any of that story goes?
Yeah.
But that's my story.
Yeah.
And so I thought that my goal was to continue to go play basketball and go be all these things. That was the way I was going to make my mark in the world. But when I go back to Africa every year, I realize why my story is the way it is. I have a voice. I have a platform. Basketball gave me the ability to walk into any room in the world. Now, what do I say when I walk in?
That's another 154 conversation in the books. We are bridging culture back to its roots.
From Africa to the world, we're telling stories our way.
So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share your voice in the comments. This is 154.